This video was brought to you by Streamlabs OBS. Use the link in the description below to start upping your game and growing your channel on Twitch. Hey guys, and welcome back to The Wandering Wind. Today I want to give you my 5 recommendations for games in 2018. Now, this is not tied to one particular system or even just one particular kind of system, so I'll be talking about mobile, console, and PC. So first of all, I just want to say this is in no particular order, and these are just my particular opinions, so don't get bent out of shape if your favorite game's not on the list. It's probably just as good, if not better, than my picks. Anyway, let's get started with something for mobile devices, and what I like to play on my mobile device often enough is Pokemon Go. So number 5 is Pokemon Go, which is really just an excuse to get up and get out of your house and go walk for a while hunting virtual Pokemon. It's a bit more complex than that, and really, I think it's a good thing to actually get out and move around and get your heart pumping and get your blood, everything. It's also just fun to go out and see what kind of interesting Pokemon live in your neck of the woods, because it's regionally based. So whether you live in New York or Ohio or California or Japan or Europe somewhere, there's something somewhere that's not quite the same as my neck of the woods. So in my neck of the woods, we get a lot of normal type and flying type and some grass type Pokemon. We don't get a lot of other things. If I go to another town, I might find dragon types or ghost types, and it's also depending on what time of day it is, what particular location you're in. You can find all kinds of Pokemon everywhere. And the fun thing about it is that it's also based on real life geography. So say you go to the beach, you'll find water Pokemon. Say you go to a power plant, you'll find electric type Pokemon and stuff like that, like you'd find in any city. Going to a cave, well, I don't know about that, but and it's also based on the weather too, which is awesome. It's just a really fun and really interesting game. It's also going to be linked up with the Pokemon Let's Go games for the Switch later on this year, so that'll be interesting to see if I can ever get my hands on one. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Another great thing about Pokemon Go is that nowadays you've got real multiplayer compatibility. It's not awesome, but it's not horrible either. You've also got the gyms, you've got the Pokestops, you've got gifts, you've got special events. It's just awesome in general. Now, number 4 is one for the PC, and that's actually going to be a series of games. It's not just one, but it's To the Moon, A Bird Story, and Finding Paradise from Freebird Games. Now, these games are art. These games are art. They don't have really great graphics. They're the 16-bit era graphics from Nintendo and bygone ages. There's not much in the way of gameplay other than puzzles and some gags here and there about the RPG style, since it's made with RPG Maker. But overall, the games really shine with storytelling, the way they tell the story. It's basically an interactive story that pulls you in and makes you invested in the conclusion and also the progression of the story. And all 3 different games are excellent. And even the mini episodes that they've got for the first game, it's pretty stellar, I think. And they're pretty cheap on Steam. One's only $10, the other's 15, 16 bucks. Well, 2 of them are about $10 and the other's 16, maybe 20 at the most. They don't oversell, but they don't undersell themselves. So that's a great thing. Another really good thing about these games is that if you're one for wanting to get emotionally attached or emotionally stimulated by video games, this is one of those ones that really does hit the mark. Next, I'm going to be going to the PlayStation 4. Now, the PlayStation 4 is really one of my favorite systems, mainly because that's the only one I have, but still. One of my favorite games for the system right now is actually No Man's Sky. Now, this is a game that had a lot of hate back in the 2016 year of release, but over the last couple of years, it's come a long way. It's been updated and updated and updated and updated. It had a huge update just a couple months ago called Next that was just brilliant, and it really brought to mind the old space operas of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where you just imagine going out there and exploring the entire galaxy or the entire universe. And it was pretty fun. It was. It's also varied. I mean, you can be a spacefaring explorer. You can follow one of the three main storylines. You can become a pirate. You can become a trader. You can do whatever you want. It's basically a sandbox with a suggested story. You don't have to follow it. It's good if you want to get more advanced technologies to build bases and stuff. You can build bases. You can do other kinds of... It's awesome. It really is. It's awesome. And at the end of the day, it's really just whatever experience you want out of it is what you can get out of it. Now, number 4 is really just one of my personal favorite games on the 3DS here. And I've had this thing since 2014 or 15. So it's pretty old now. Dang. I better replace you eventually before you break. But that would be Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, Pokemon Sun and Moon are awesome games, and really the latest generation of games has really pushed the edge of what a Pokemon game can be by not only ditching the original formula of 8 gyms and then the Elite Four and then the Champion and then the post-game, as well as a Legendaries plot and a few other extras thrown in. This was kind of the first game that really got you thinking, I wonder what it would be like if I designed a Pokemon game or something. And that's, the next Pokemon game is going to be on the Nintendo Switch, and I think it's going to be awesome. But definitely it's going to be interesting seeing what happens with a game that doesn't necessarily follow the formula and is on a high-end platform like the Switch. So there's that. And then finally, for my 5th and final game, I just want to say this is just my personal favorite. It's nothing huge. It's just I love Final Fantasy. And I tell you what, Final Fantasy IX is probably my all-time favorite of the classic Final Fantasy games before they started really changing things. And the storyline, the characters, the progression, the battle system, it's just awesome. When I saw there was a re-release in HD, I'm like, I'm getting it. And I got it, and it was awesome. I'm just super happy that there are video games out there that anyone can enjoy and find something in that they like. So I want to know, what are your top 5 favorite video games of any system? You can pick whatever you want. And don't just listen to me. Go out and play what you like. Anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I love you very much. And I will see you guys again in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys come back again.